ended the last vlog in the same dress, but we're actually trying it on to see how we want to style it for the wedding tomorrow. The dress has this little halter top and then the back is open. I thought these little sparkly shoes would be really fun with it. Since the shoes are so sparkly, part of me is like, do I go with a red bag and kind of like maybe tie in a different color? Or do I just stick classic black bag because we're already doing a lot with the shoes, you know? These are the shoes. I just love how they have the like tiniest little heel and then the little point. I just feel like they look perfect with this dress. I honestly kind of wish I have like a little silver bag, but I feel like it's almost gonna be too much. Let me go grab it. I feel like these match really well. The nice thing about this one is that it pops open and has like this really, that's really tangled up in here, but it has this really long chain, so I could like loop it and be hands-free if I need to, but obviously at most weddings you can set your bag down somewhere. We have bag number 1, which is this little silver bag. We have bag number 2, which is this little black bag. We have the extra little pop of color, which is the little red bag. I'm gonna do a little navy pullover. It's still pretty hot out there tonight, and I think it's supposed to be hot as well tomorrow. Like right now it still says it's 77 and it's 9 o'clock exactly. I'm really curious if I'm actually even gonna be cold tomorrow to need the shawl, but I feel like I should bring it just in case. But either way, I'm gonna debate on which purse to choose before tomorrow. Tomorrow I have to get up and go to work, and then I'm only working a half day because the wedding's at 4, so I'm coming home at 1 to get ready for the wedding. So I don't really have much time to choose tomorrow, which is why I'm choosing tonight. Finally, Friday. This week has felt so long. I just started the vlog yesterday, but this week I've had to stay late at work and like flex my hours to make up time to go to the wedding today, because today is Friday and the wedding's at 4. I work from 7:30 to 4. I obviously can't get off of work at 4 if the wedding's like at 4. Well, the wedding I think is at 4:30, but we have to be there at 4. And I need to get ready for the wedding. I'm gonna need to like curl my hair, do my makeup. Obviously, I don't look wedding ready right now, but since I've been making up time this week and I've been working like later days, I felt like I earned this matcha that I'm about to go get. And it's Friday, so you know, like a little sweet treat. Sitting outside the thrift store right now because I was getting my oil changed. They said that they had to go order my oil, so it was like 9:17. The thrift store opens at 10. I've walked 7 minutes from the oil change place to here because they said that the oil's not going to be there until 10:20 and the car's not going to be done until 10:45. They open at 10, so I have 45 minutes to try and do something to not feel bored. They had a car show, like a coffee and car show going on next door, which was really nice, but I already walked around that from like 9:17 to like 9:30. It's not very big. I thought coming over here would really soak up some time. And then you know what? If I'm late to go pick up the car, I've already waited long enough. It's not like I'm already here, and then I'll walk my 7 minutes back. We are officially home from the oil change. That took me way too long. As I was saying at the thrift store when I was sitting on the sidewalk about to go in, is that the tire rotation was really fast. They got that done right away. And then apparently the oil they needed for my car, they had to like order it from like an O'Reilly's in town. And then the O'Reilly guy just took forever to get there. And so I waited there. I got there at 8:05 this morning, and I think I didn't end up leaving until like 11:45. So that took up most of my morning. I'll give you a little haul of what I got at the thrift store. A lot of the stuff I was searching for today is for like sewing projects. That's what I've been spending a lot of my time doing, is sewing. Obviously in the last vlog we did a lot of sewing as well. I just feel like I keep getting ideas that come to my mind, and so I feel like I'm trying to find materials for it. And obviously like fabric is not too expensive sometimes, but if I can find something for cheaper, or if I can find something secondhand that I can then turn into something else, then I feel like it creates less waste. These are actually bed sheets. They were $6. It's a twin sheet. I feel like this would make a super cute dress or like a little matching set. So I got these. Every year for football there's this game that's the Gold Rush game. It's like the first game of the season. And every year I create something for it, usually with the Gold Rush shirt. Let me show you what like one of them looks like. This is an old one. There's a new design every year, but this is what like the old Gold Rush shirt looks like. This year I want to create like a patchwork quilted sweater that I can wear when it gets colder in the game, because Gold Rush is probably not going to be that cold, but I also kind of want to create it just so that I can wear it to work because I work for the university, and then also just to wear around. Because most of the shirts just have like nothing on the back or are plain, I'm going to use the extra fabric to do the little patches. For the sleeves, I kind of want to do like one pattern and kind of want to do like maybe a yellow pattern to just kind of mix it up, and then maybe mix whatever I use for the sleeves into the patchwork. I want to do a red quilted sweater, so I have some red sheets that I got, and I also want to do like a little Baggu crossbody bag in red, and so I got 2 different types of like red sheets that I will use for those. This is thinking way ahead, but for our trip in December, I kind of wanted like one sweater that I could throw on when we're on the train, because we're gonna be taking trains from like different cities, so I wanted like a little sweater I could throw on. When I was at the thrift store, I found this like really cool like plaid looking blanket. I feel like the colors are perfect for December. I feel like this will just be perfect for the fall time too. I'm gonna try and line up the sleeve so this like edge part stays on for the wrist part. I think this is gonna be perfect for that project. Surprise, we have another set of sheets. I think I'm gonna turn these ones into a pair of pants. I always want like a light color or like white pair of pants, and I don't really have too many that like aren't, well actually I don't think I have any, because they end up being see-through. So I feel like if I do this, I'll be able to double line it and then it won't be see-through. I found the tan one first, but then I found this like little, I don't know if this is like supposed to be a sheet or if this is supposed to go on like the top of your bed. Even the little bubbling texture that the fabric has, I feel like these would make perfect pair of white pants. And because there's so much here, I could also double line the pants, which will be perfect because then they won't be see-through. This brown fabric is actually curtains, and I'm not actually sure what I'm gonna do with it. When I was in the store, I was thinking that I'd use the brown fabric to line this sweater, because this is like a blanket material. I don't think I'm actually going to need to line it with anything like interfacing or an extra fabric, so I think that this might not go to use, but I think I'm just going to keep it in my like fabric stash in case there's something that I want to do and I want to use this fabric in the future. At least I have it. I just don't feel like it's like worth returning. This has nothing to do with sewing projects, but how cute is this ski jacket? I've always wanted a white ski jacket, and then it has these like stripes here, and I just got sold, and I was like, this is nowhere near wintertime, and it's actually I think like 100 degrees out today, but I will be wearing this. I definitely will be wearing this in winter. I feel like this will be perfect to wear to like cold football games. The last fabric we have here is this tan and white striped fabric. I feel like this is perfect. It's just a little bed sheet, but I feel like this will be perfect to do another pair of pants. I feel like I don't have very many fun colored pants, so I feel like that's why I'm like trying to search for some like good affordable fabric that I can do that with. All I want to do it is a wide leg and then like an elastic waistband at the waist, so I feel like that's not too difficult. I feel like this is perfect for that project to make it pretty inexpensive. The last time I got is this bin, because I realized I have nothing to hold any of the extra fabric I have, which will make it a lot easier because as you can see in the background, I'm about to work on this project, but there's fabric everywhere, which I feel like will be better when I can put it in this bin. Speaking of the fabric behind me, this is today's project. We are making a little sunglass holder thing with a strap. This is what we're aiming to make. So you put your sunglasses like in it and then it snaps, but this is what it looks like open. For this, it looks like we need a 6 by 6.5 inch outer, so the outer fabric, whatever you want, and then a 6 by 6.5 of the lining, which again, you could do the same fabric, I bet, if you wanted. We need a 1.5 by 18 inch strap. For this very first one, we are gonna use this like cherry pattern. It has little polka dots and then the cherries on it. I thought this green would look really cute as the lining. For the strap, I think I'm gonna do the green so that you have the like black of the cherries and then you have the green of the strap coming out. I think that is the plan. I feel like this looks pretty easy when I was watching the video and looking at these instructions. You pretty much make the strap, stick all of the stuff right sides together, sew it around, leave a hole for you to flip it, and then top stitch so that you can close that little hole that you made, and then add the button. I said the button, but I meant the snap, and I think that's it. I was too lazy to take off my little tank top underneath, but this is the top. It's kind of just like very basic across, and then I tried to do like a little elastic. I think the elastic part like kind of failed. What I did was sew the elastic into the fabric and then kind of like roll it over, because I saw someone do that on Instagram And honestly, I kind of hated that method. What I wish I had done is folded over the hem and then kind of fed it through the hem and then stitched it down, because I just feel like this almost ended up, like, it fits, but it's like slightly, probably like little tighter than I would have wanted. The back here is just straight across, and then I have this like little tie in the back. As I was saying yesterday, because I got those like Gold Rush t-shirts, I felt like this would be perfect to wear to the first football game of the season, because it's the colors of like the game. Basically the game is like everybody wears gold, yellow, so I feel like this will be perfect because it's like end of August. It will still be really hot, so this is going to be really comfortable. I think I've decided for the sweater that I'm making that I'm going to cut up the Gold Rush shirts for / those like blue shirts. I have a lot of extra fabric of the dress, and I think I'm going to use this as extra little pattern blocks. I might do the sleeves as this color so that the sleeves are all one color. I just feel like if I do the sleeves like a block pattern, it'll be harder to do and like harder to see where to place the sleeves. I think I'm going to do this for the sleeves and then mix this pattern in on the bodice and the back of the sweater so that it kind of like all mixes together. I'm kind of just going to place probably and figure it out. I also have quilt batting that I'll put between this layer and then the top layer to make it a little like thicker, just because I feel like that's going to really seal it in. I kind of want it to have like a patchworky quilted sweater vibe. The other little projects we're doing are the little sunglasses case. Let me show you what this looks on. When you have your bag on of any kind, you take the sunglass holder, you wrap it around the back here, or just however you want to put on. Wrap it, you put it through the hole, and then it kind of hangs down from whatever item you're gonna have it hanging on. The pattern was 16 long, but I think I might try and trim that down to 10, because if the glasses aren't in this little case part, you can pretty much just smush it through the hole if you needed to, if the strap was shorter. When you just put the glasses on the outside of the case, I feel like they don't move as much as they would if they were in that little pocket. These ones are also kind of the worst example because they are sliding everywhere. And these are like my most oversized glasses. It was a fairly easy process to make this, so I feel like this is definitely very beginner friendly. Let's make another one together. Part of my morning this morning has been spent cleaning up. So I cleaned the mudroom, I cleaned the upstairs, and then I actually got in the mood to just randomly reorganize this downstairs area. The sewing table, which is now in that little corner by Colt, used to be sitting like right here in the middle of the room. So I kind of put it in the corner behind this little chair here so that people can actually use the room. I also moved the hanging rack because it used to be standing on the treadmill, so nobody could use the treadmill if the hanging rack was out. We honestly just leave our hanging rack out all the time. It used to just sit in our spare bedroom and usually was never in the way, but it's always out, and I felt like it was just sitting on the treadmill and nobody could use the treadmill now. So I moved it so that people can use the bike and the treadmill that are down here, and so this whole space is open again. It just makes it a lot nicer. The room was also feeling very like cluttered, and when I was laying down fabric on the floor, if I needed to, if I was doing something big like that dress, when I had to lay the fabric down, I had to like angle it on the side of this chair in this like one corner to try and get it, and now I have the whole room to actually lay down fabric. And when I'm at work and not sewing, it's nice that I can like kind of organize it and push it away instead of having to like fully break it down. Not that I was going to fully break it down, but now this is like a lot better, and like we could still come down here and watch a movie and it's organized. I don't think I'm gonna follow this exact pattern again because I just feel like it turned out too small. I'm gonna start with another cherries in another green because I feel like those will be perfect. Got the 3 straps. I thought I would do the straps first because I'm gonna have to come iron them anyway. And then when I iron the straps, I can iron in the interface to the top layer. Here's the final test. I ended up doing a 12-inch long strap instead of the 18. I do have it pinned closed right now because I want to wait for the snaps that I ordered to come so that I can do those snaps. I just got back from work, but let me show you the progress I made yesterday. I successfully made this one, the waves with the yellow. Oh, this is the prototype. And then the cherries with the green. I do have a bunch on deck that need to be done that are just a bunch of different combos for different people. For my little patchwork sweater, I found this little gingham for the blue part because I needed like extra blue fabric to match the yellow fabric, or to like kind of contrast with the yellow fabric because I'm trying to do it like blue and yellow. I thought this was perfect, so I'm gonna throw this in the wash for that because I'm gonna try and cut out those pieces right now. I have about an hour until I have to leave for dinner, and we're going to Minions and Monsters tonight. I actually know what this is. It should be the snaps to finalize those first glasses holders. First thing we got is some little like sewing clips. I didn't realize how much I liked sewing clips until I didn't have any. They're interchangeable with pins, but I just sometimes like these better. I wanted to just do this and clip it instead of pinning it every time, but I didn't have clips. I got these little sewing clips to help with that. Yes, I do have a bunch of sewing supplies, except for the fact that they're all in storage. And where else in storage would they be but at the very bottom, so I'm not getting to them anytime soon. In order to close a little glasses case, you need a little snap here to hold it together. I didn't have any snaps except for little sew-in ones. I got a pack that just came with like a bunch of different colors. It's just these little plastic snaps, which I feel like will be perfect for this project because I feel like you can then just pick whatever color you want to accent whatever pattern you've created. When I've been doing projects lately and I've wanted to like draw on the fabric to know where I wanted to sew or something, or not to sew, I've been just using a pen. I thought I would just get a little chalk marker to draw on. I used to have these ones that were kind of like they were like a little rectangle. I felt like they always broke, so I thought this little pen was probably a better option. We'll see how well this works out, but I got that. The last thing I got here is webbing. It's basically the strap that goes around any kind of bag. So like if you had a crossbody bag, this is what goes on that apparently. I want to make a red crossbody bag for my trip in December. I want to do like red on the outside and these little skier fabric on the inside. In order to make the little crossbody bag, I need some webbing on the outside. I thought I'd just get extra just in case I want to make like other little bags in the future. I'll actually just have it. I thought this was just a snap and it was not. That actually almost stabbed me in the face. That was great. When I make the crossbody bag, I'll use this as a strap and that's what it'll look like. I just went with black because I feel like it's going to be the most versatile and probably the color I use the most. And I wanted it to be red and black anyway. Let's try and stab this back down. I'm gonna get this washing, and then I'm going to start cutting out the different t-shirts and what I want them to look like. After multiple attempts at these sunglasses cases, I made a bigger one because I felt like the other ones were too small. And then you put in the glasses and it pinches in the back of the fabric, so then it pulls out the front of the fabric. I made this one where it's secured on the sides now and the bottom instead of having this like open fabric. So I made this one, but it's too small for glasses. Like they just don't fit. They're like just exact, so you can't put a snap at the top, which if you don't put a snap, it's gonna slide right out of this little pocket here. The final one that I feel like is the perfect one is this one. So it has a snap at the top so that you can put some glasses in it. I'm actually wearing glasses, let's just do that. Put the glasses in, you snap it at the top right there. Your glasses are secure, but it's not falling out the side and it's not falling out the bottom. Wrap it around your bag like usual, pull it down. There it is hanging on the bag. This is actually my dad's, so I need to go give it back to him. But then you just take your glasses off if you're switching from sunglasses to your regular glasses, and you put them in the bag. And you're good to go. But I feel like this last design is actually the best, and I think I'm gonna make some more in this design. I'm really sad I made all of these in this other design and they kind of failed. I actually thought about doing it enclosed like this from the beginning, but I kind of was like conflicted on like how that would work. But I figured it out and I feel like it's actually gonna look better. I thought I'd update you and let you know that these are just really not that great. It definitely is easy. So if you're wanting to like learn how to sew, I feel like this is a good simple project to kind of show you how to like put right sides together, how to top stitch, how to do that kind of thing, how to make a strap, how to put an interfacing. But overall, I don't feel like the design is that great functionality wise. The pattern that I used, great instructions. She was perfect. The pattern was perfect. It worked out but I feel like functionality wise, it's better to just have it sewn on all sides and then putting the snap on the top. The next update I have is the little patchwork sweater. This is how our patchwork is going so far. This top row was really easy because obviously they're all the same size squares. I kind of made it complicated in these little spots because I didn't cut them exactly the same size. It's really hard on the back to line up the lines so both sides of the thing are sewn. Instead of quilting this one, I am going to use like a pre-made sweater as my like pattern, and I'm gonna sew it on top of the pre-made sweater. This will be the back, and I've already cut it off. So I cut off the sleeves, I cut off the bottom. This is essentially what it would look like if you were to start from fresh and you were cutting it out of fabric. This is basically the pattern pieces. I decided to do this method because I actually wanted the little bands that go at the bottom of sweaters. When I was doing my patchwork last night, I laid down the front part of the sweater and did all of the patchwork that I thought would look good. I've never had a more uneven top in my life. When I was watching back the clip, I realized that the dress was kind of uneven. It still kind of feels like it is. I don't know what is going on with this design. I don't know if it's because of the straps, like one strap's longer than the other, if it's because of the ties on the side. In my opinion, it looks a lot more even than it was. What I'm gonna try and do is use some of this extra fabric from the skirt and put it on the front as like an extra like layer. I don't know how well this is going to work, but I feel like I can stitch it into the sides. If I put another layer in here, I feel like it will also help with the straps like laying flat. I got it to have the layer on the inside so it's not see-through, but I just think this design is just, it's not working. It's actually honestly kind of terrible. I feel like we might just have to give up on this one. I think this might just be a fail. I honestly think the straps were just messing the whole design up. Like, I think I made it too wide, and then with the straps, it was just pulling it in like all sorts of weird spots. You can't see through the front at all because it has this extra little layer. It is a little more loose under here now, so even though I have the extra layer, I think I will still have to wear some form of something underneath. I think this is going to be the last update for this vlog, but we have a sweater-ish type of situation going on. This is what the sweater is looking like. This is the front of the sweater. The back's different. I just realized somehow that I didn't put right sides together. So this was supposed to have like a fuzzy inside of the sweater, and somehow on both sides I ended up doing it to where I guess they're both the same in the inside, but it was supposed to be the fuzzy side of the sweater, like the inside of the sweater, but apparently I didn't do that, which I don't know how I didn't do that. Either way, let me show you the back of the sweater. I feel like it's kind of hard because it kind of like concaves in. This I gotta make sure I definitely do the right side. This is what was supposed to be on the inside of the sweater. The sleeves will attach here, and then one side will have the bobcat in blue, and then the other side will have the bobcat in yellow. I kind of can't tell if this is gonna be weird or not, so we may or may not do that part. I'll attach the arm wristlets back on, and I'm planning on attaching the like neck band back on as well. I'm gonna end the vlog here, but I will see you guys next time.